Hello, I'm Jay's O-Scale. It's 2023, and I figure I may as well start getting into making YouTube videos, since it's been something I should have started doing a long time ago, but never did. So I figure what better engine to start out with than the newest locomotive in my collection, my MTH RailKing Scale Pennsylvania Railroad SD9 with Protosound 3. I picked this locomotive up from CT McCormick's Hardware in Zillionople, Pennsylvania, probably about a month and a half or so ago, and it's been an incredible runner. It looks great, it sounds great, and it has really good pulling power. You'll see it pulling 12 or 13 cars, I don't remember exactly, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't seem to know there's a train behind it. And I'm not the only one in the 3-row lounge that has a RailKing Scale SD9. My friends TJ and Bob both have SD9s of their own in different road names. You'll see those a little bit later in the video. Now, like I said, this is a RailKing locomotive, but it is true 1/48 scale. As you can probably see from this angle, the inside 2 axles on each truck are actually blind. That allows it to go around tighter curves. It also has a little bit more basic detail than a Premier or Legacy locomotive would have, but that comes with the benefit of it's a lot cheaper than a Legacy or Premier locomotive. This engine retailed for $330, which is what I paid for it, which is almost unheard of for a scale command control equipped locomotive. And it actually has working fan-driven smoke unit in it as well. Like I said, this locomotive is equipped with Protosound 3.0, which is the newest, I guess, system from MTH. It's not really new, but they haven't put another one out since. So it's got the greatest and latest sounds and features you could expect from an MTH locomotive. It's got digital command system, DCS, so it'll run with the remote. Its low speed control is really good. We'll go 1-2 scale miles an hour without stuttering at all. It works great in lash-ups, in my experience, with just about any locomotive. Anything from my Proto 3 Pennsylvania Railroad J1 all the way to my 22-year-old, almost 23-year-old Protosound 2 Pennsylvania Railroad Q2, which you won't see in this video, but there will be another video about both of those steam engines eventually. But I mean, this engine's right at home with the other two. It's one thing I really like about MTH because, you know, it doesn't really matter whether it's a 25-year-old engine or a brand new one like this. If it's got Protosound 2 or 3 with DCS, it will probably run together just fine. Now, if you're any bit familiar with my Instagram page, and you probably know that I run 072 and 080 curves on my layout. So some might ask, why are you buying a RailKing engine when you have such wide curves? You don't need a RailKing engine. And that's true. It certainly is capable of going through much tighter curves, I think as sharp as 031. But in reality, it's just a nice engine. And I wanted it. I like SD9s, and of course I like MTH locomotives, since they tend to run really well and sound really good. And of course I'm partial to the Pennsylvania Railroad. And having seen this locomotive a few times at McCormick's Hardware on their shelf, I passed up on it initially, and it began to grow on me. Eventually I went in there, saw it sitting there on the shelf, and I just caved and bought it, and I have no regrets. It's an amazing locomotive, and I would definitely recommend it to anybody who might be looking at an engine like this. It's absolutely worth it. Even if you have wider curves, it looks just fine on 072. You can't really tell that, you know, it has blind axles or wheels unless you're specifically looking for it. And if that's all you're looking for in a locomotive, then maybe this engine's not for you. But for anybody else who just enjoys having a nice engine and running it, I think this is definitely worth it. So I'm going to quit talking now. I think I've said enough about this engine. I'm going to let it speak for itself. We'll fire it up and run it around the layout a little bit with a short freight train. I'll play some of its sounds, do the extended startup and all that, so you can hear what it sounds like, and then later on in the video, we'll have a couple more clips of some other SD9s on some other layouts, which, like I said before, is TJ's Toy Trains and Bob's O-Gauge Trains have their own SD9s. Bob's got a Chessie System SD9, and TJ's got a Baltimore and Ohio SD9, so we each have one for the railroads we like to collect for. And you may notice another train running around on the layout. Of course, you can see a Conrail caboose sitting in the background. I'm also going to run my Legacy GP30 just because I can and I like it, and you know, you don't call me Mr. Conrail for nothing, so I figure I might as well put it to work as well. Well, anyways, if you stuck around to watch this video, I really do appreciate it. I don't film very often, I'm not really comfortable with it, but hopefully as I continue to make videos, I'll get a little bit better. With that, I'm Jay Zoscale. Take care.
Is she ready to go? Compressor checks out A-OK.
Fuel is topped off.
Make sure the sand bins are topped off. All right, I'll check that out. Sand bins are topped off. Yep, she's in good shape. Thanks.